Hello, everybody. My guest today is Kermit Kuehn. He's a professor of management at the University of Arkansas, Fort Smith, where he teaches strategy, international business, and entrepreneurship. He operates Silvrback.com, a subscription blogging platform for writers seeking a less mainstream alternative in their blogging experience, as well as blogplatformsreview.com. Kermit, are you ready to take us to the top?
Let's do it.
All right. Tell us about the company. So how is Silvrback different than, say, WordPress?
Yeah. Well, aside from subscribers, we're basically a niche player that is purely a blog platform. We play the minimalist space, so that means lean, uncluttered experience is really what we mean, and that's the struggle to maintain that. So we're really kind of, in a way, an anti-WordPress. Think of us as a log cabin, and WordPress as the tall steel skyscraper type of environment.
And what's the business model? Is it a pure play SaaS company?
Yes, but it is a subscription-based platform. So,
and what does the average customer pay per month for it, would you say?
we have different plans, so around $25 to $30 a year.
Okay. Oh, a year. Wow. Okay. So this is very much, hopefully you're kind of in the high volume space then, right? Thousands and thousands of people?
No.
Okay. So how many people are now using it today?
Around between 500 and 6. It varies.
So if you have 500,
so it's a small, but this would be typical for small blogging platforms. Less than 1,000 would be typical for players like myself, Postasio, Postagon, which is now gone completely. But so the smaller players who are pure plays are going to be typically smaller, except for medium, perhaps.
Okay. So it sounds like they pay on average what, $2 a month or about $25 a year?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, our high plan, our retail is $34.99. But they can do quarterlies, they can do monthlies. So
yeah, I'm just trying to back in. So like in terms of revenue, you're doing about $1,000 a month. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so you're right now also a professor. Obviously, that's how you obviously make your living. Why not cut your safety net? Why not leave the school, go all in on the company, and build it to $1 million company?
My basic philosophy has always been, number one, Silvrback would not be that kind of company because of the generic nature of the space. Virtually, there are dozens and dozens of free options running around out there, looking for ways to monetize their model to pay for this stuff. And as a result, I never envisioned it as being something that would be that kind of all-in kind of deal. I always saw it as part of what my teaching experiences is to tell students to create multiple streams of income. In other words, don't depend on the big A check, your ace in the hand, because when you lose it, then where are you? So this is just part of my own philosophy of multiple streams of income.
So you're a professor, you've got this, which is $1,000 a month. What other streams do you like any real estate? What other streams do you have?
Yeah. I have rental property. So I have a small portfolio there that does $3-4 a month.
Yeah.
And then I am a stock, portfolio Roth stocks. So I play with that. So I lose money there. I lose money virtually everywhere. But again, it's about what do you want something to be in your portfolio of income? And so I'm a guy in my mid-60s, so I'm not going to throw the pension account and everything at a venture unless I feel really good at it. And it's probably not going to be a startup.
Yep.
I'll probably buy an existing model.
What year did you launch the company, Silvrback?
Silvrback was actually launched by a programmer called Damian Sowers, named Damian Sowers, back in 2013, late. So it really came online full force in 2014. I bought it in 2015.
Okay.
I acquired it. So I'm a blogger, so it fit right in with what I was interested in. It was like, wow, this would be great. So
what'd you buy it for? Like you're talking a couple $1,000?
No, I won't say. I can't disclose.
Okay.
That's part of the deal.
But why? That was like that was like 4 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah.
3 years ago. Okay, let me ask you a different question. If you don't want to say the number, how did you value the platform if it's basically a free platform?
Oh, it's not free. We're a subscription base. So
well, yeah, but it's only it's doing like less than $1,000 a month. In other words, you're not paying a revenue multiple.
Actually, you do in that space. If you go online to buy businesses, it's very much connected to its growth prospects, number one, and two, what is its revenue stream at a multiple.
Okay, so what revenue multiple did you pay, and how'd you negotiate it?
Again,
we don't know what the revenue was back then, so we don't know what the price is.
Those online businesses are 2.5 to 3 times net flows, or flows, I should say.
You're talking top line or bottom?
Top
line, and ARR or monthly?
Annually.
Annually, yeah, annually. Now, what? it's what I'm trying to understand too is if you did this really for business reasons, or if you're saying, you know what, I'm teaching this at school. This is a great testing ground for me to actually test the things I'm teaching to show my students how to do it. Which one was it more of?
More of. It was literally an economic stream for me.
Yeah.
And it made me learn to do things online that I would want to talk about in the classroom. So you're right on the point. It had multiple reasons for doing it. I'm a hobbyist. I'm a blogger. It brought cash, and it made me learn new things constantly.
What are the big costs associated with running this? So you make $1,000 a month on it. What are your costs? Anything?
Your hosting costs can be substantial if you go with those that can handle volume, which occasionally blogs spike, and you got to be able to manage that load. The other is just coding costs. I'm not a programmer like the founder was, so I have to, all those subcontractors I use to build product. When I bought it, it was a pretty rough product. And it was it was just a startup. It had a lot of holes in it. Didn't have a lot of.
But it sounds like you paid a pretty. You're not revealing it. I'm based off your facial reactions because it was a pretty expensive price for what you got, and maybe you haven't made that cash back yet.
Well, that's correct. It was more. It was an up and coming business that had peaked, and now you have to go and find your base in reality as opposed to the flood. I mean, it's part of what happened in the 2012 to 2014 window with blogging. Lots of new platforms came on. It was kind of the heyday of blogging. Medium came online, Ghost came online, Subtle, Postagon, in other words, you just could list the whole group of them that came online as new offerings. And many of them have since changed direction because it's just tough to make money. WordPress, well, for sure, but they were a little earlier, much earlier player. But yeah, they've won that space largely. And WordPress is not really a blogging platform. I mean, its money is in, full website development and.
I would argue though they grew. I mean, it's a freemium offer where it starts with blogging, and once you get big enough, then they upsell all the other stuff. Okay, so let's talk more about you. So the team right now, it's just you, and when you need a developer, you'll maybe hire a part-time developer.
Yep, I have an ongoing relationship with a developer who takes care of bugs and additions and new features, which we just steadily keep bringing on. So, basically the money that comes in is what pays for all the game. I don't put anything in it. I take a little bit out, but basically it all pays for the game. My environment has been that most students don't want to do this. They're looking for the job. They want that kind of predictability. It's the kind of the nature of my local environment. Overseas, very different. Arkansas, very traditional conservative environment. So, but I have some students that do it, and it's usually just about an attitude. It's about I'm going to go chew it off and make it happen, and if I fail at that one, I'm going to go chew off another one. So they're just a tenaciousness about the person that you go like, okay, this person's going to do something.
Do you ever get a call from a parent and go, Kermit, Jane just told us she doesn't want to go do the job at Deloitte. She's launching her own company because of your class. How could you let her do this? It's never happened?
Not happened, no. Well, it's too bad, unfortunately, because I came from overseas for 10 years. A lot of these kids in that environment were much more aggressive and much more
Where'd you come from?
Pardon?
Where were you overseas?
I was in the Middle East. I was in Oman for 3 years, 7 years in the UAE, United Arab Emirates. So in startup kind of academic institutions. So.
And they were they were able to they were happy to take on more risk over there.
Yeah, they seem to be more reckless, if you will, and say, oh, I'm going to go try that, or I'm going to go do that, because they usually had money. A lot of them were from families with serious money, so they could play.
Yep, they already had their bases covered.
Yeah.
Very good. So what's next for you? Are you looking at any other new companies to buy?
Well, I'd actually like to I'm using blog platforms to review. One, to do try to do honest reviews. I have people come in and do them. I do some of other platforms, but it's also to be partially a feeder into Silvrback. So it's one of those that gets reviewed. The problem with small platforms is you can't get to the top of the search because you're in a generic space, kind of an evergreen space, and your slots are paid for by WordPress, Wix, Weep. They'll just buy the slot.
Squarespace, yeah.
I can't compete with $3 to $5 a click, So I have to work the fringes and try to find types of people, pockets of people who would be interested in a kind of nonconformist, anti
establishment.
slick,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And so, we take Bitcoin payments. We kind of stay rough on the edges. So when you get on there, it's kind of like I say, a log cabin feel as opposed to a slick stainless steel.
So why not go all in there? Why not become like the blogging platform for anti-establishment cryptocurrency, blockchain people?
Well, because you got to invest in that capability.
But what's the case? Why not just change the wording on your homepage? Why do you actually have to change the feature set?
Because I think that I don't know that audience well enough to be able to speak to what they will directly want, but I assume the blockchain integration will be part of it, and that is another level of design I'd have to pay for to test that.
I see. Very good. All right, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, what is your favorite business book?
I'd say recently it would be recent, meaning I read it recently. It was out in 2012. Power of Habit.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
I subscribe to a financial newsletter called Stansberry Research. So Porter Stansberry has always been a guy who's very insightful about future events and trends, and I always find him bold, brash, and almost reckless. So I find that stimulating.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building your business?
I'll say what we use. We use Trello to just try to keep track of who in the heck's responsible for doing what, and Hootsuite we'll use for social media stuff.
Very good. Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
6 to 7 hours. I'm kind of just getting old and I don't sleep well.
And you said you're 60 today?
Mid-60s. I'm 64.
64. Very good. And what's your situation? Married, kiddos?
Married.
How many kids? Any?
3. The oldest one's is 40. So
oh, wow. Very good. Married, 3 kids, 64 years old. Last question. Take us back to your 20-year-old self. What do you wish he knew?
I wish I would have set out more explicitly to pursue financial independence than I did. I took experience over finances.
Guys, get financially independence sooner. That would be the advice he'd give himself. Bought this company called Silvrback back in 2014, kind of a niche blogging software. Today, between 500 and 600 customers pay about $2 a month for it. So doing about $1,000 per month in revenue. He really uses this to really teach his students how to launch and grow a company. He runs his own experience in it. And then also he does make a little cash for him along with his many other revenue streams as he preaches that to his students. Again, multiple revenue streams. Just himself, team of 1 based out there in Arkansas. Kurt, thank you for taking us to the top.
You bet. Thank you.